Hello, everyone, and welcome to our event today. We thank you for taking the time out of your very busy schedules to learn about the opportunity here with us at Stride. Now, there is a chat box available where you can ask questions and give feedback during the event today. If you automatically open on your screen, there's a button in the upper right-hand corner right above the visual here that'll let you open up that chat box. I do recommend having your browser window full screen. That way you can see the visual and the chat box at the same time. Questions are open to everyone. Now you can get your immediate access to Stride right down below on the page you're on right now. However, I recommend waiting until after the event today. That way you don't miss any of the content that we have to share with you. But you can get started immediately down below. Now that does open up your access as well to our deep dive training that will be kicking off next Tuesday. So again, once you get started down below, you will automatically get invited to that training. Now, to get us started here, I would love to welcome in a member here, one of our Stride agents, to share a little bit about her feedback and story with you. So I'd like to bring in Kate Johnson.
Kate Johnson, the founder of CFP Advisors and proud team leader with Stride Savings. With 20 years of business consulting experience, I've assisted thousands of businesses and professionals to connect to resources designed to protect their business, cut costs, grow, and thrive. 6 years ago, I came across Stride and was blown away by how much a simple all-in-one solution can quickly calculate and conceptually show access to massive savings that often go uncaptured. Fast forward to today, the tax management system is even more innovative. Personally, I've helped a wide variety of businesses capture massive revenue, adding up to millions of dollars. My clients range from construction, manufacturing, healthcare, and hospitality to retail and transportation. I have one client right now who stands to realize over $240,000 in federal tax incentives just because they've kept their TMS survey link active for over a year. I have commercial property owners circling back a second year in a row, asking for second cost segregations and asking for R&D. I'm contacted by companies that I've never heard of by third parties. I have CPA clients and have developed amazing strategic alliance partnerships that consider me their go-to, all because I've been able to disrupt and bring value to their clients like they've never seen. TMS is dynamic and paired with such an amazing support team. I couldn't ask for a better way to show a business owner how to increase their revenue. The idea that any one of you can offer such a massive, all-in-one, simple cash flow solution to over 33 million Main Street businesses ravenous for revenue is an opportunity you don't want to miss. I hope you take the keys handed to you, pretend like it's your favorite car, and throw out the manual. Just get in, drive fast, and have fun. Good luck.
Thank you so much to Kate for sharing her version of the opportunity here, her story and her feedback. And it's so nice to be able to hear that. And I'm looking forward to hearing each and every one of your stories here. Now, to go ahead and get us started today, I would like to introduce our presenter, our panelist today. He's a partner here at Stride Solutions, Jason Zicarelli. Jason, handing off to you.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that, Heather. It took me a moment to get myself off of mute. Welcome, everyone. Welcome again to our call today. Jennifer, I think it's over to us now. Jennifer, if you would, let's go to our opening slide, please, and we are going to dive into the rest of the content that we have for you folks today. This is our agenda, guys. As you come to know us, come to work with us, you'll recognize that I like to offer an agenda ahead of a call. This is a rather simple one. Due to my tangential nature and the fact that I love the rabbit trail, especially as a byproduct of the chat that we have with each and every one of you and love to do and engage in throughout these calls. However, WebEx is being a little quirky for me today, and I'm having trouble seeing chat, so I won't be doing that as I usually do. However, if you join us on tomorrow's mastermind call, of course, I'll be very, very excited to engage you. But without further ado, let us dive into why you're here today, who we are, what we do, and why it makes sense for you and we to have a working relationship. As a starting point, and Jennifer, that's perfect timing, let me point out that everything I say, and I am going to make some very, very bold statements throughout this call, everything I say is validated by your peers on the aforementioned Friday call, as well as a litany of other calls and trainings and various things that we do. Meaning that for the last 24 plus years, I've been running an every Friday call called the Mastermind Call, wherein we come on and we train you guys about market dynamics, aspects of who we are, what we do, opportunities, new products, whatever the case may be. And as part of that call, we bring on you guys, right? You, your peers, guest speakers, to come on and talk about the successes that they've had with our company, with our organization, the byproduct of working with us, and all that is accomplished as a result of Sing. And in fact, what we do is we take those live calls and we extrapolate out the guest speaker component and we park it here in our hub for you guys to listen to. So you can go back and listen to yourself after you speak, if a friend, an associate said something to say, or if there's something of personal value in the speaking engagement of the individual. Maybe they have a pearl that could be beneficial to you, some insight, something you want to duplicate. All of that is parked here, and we have over 600 hours of testimony, not only validating the things that I say, but going one step further. And as you're going to hear very, very often, in fact, again, you'll hear it on tomorrow's call, I'm actually quite reserved when I make our bold statements, and I leave it to our guest speakers to drive home the truly prolific nature of all that is brought to the table by virtue of a successful working relationship between each and every one of you and we as an organization. And so again, as a preface, in preparation for the things that I know are going to come out of my mouth, I want to offer the validation up front, and we repeat that validation every Friday and have now for nearly a quarter of a century, that stands behind everything we say and all that we do. So Jennifer, without belaboring that point any further, let's go to our next slide. And we said on the agenda, we're going to talk about you, we're going to talk about the clients in the market, and we're going to talk about who we are as a company. So first and foremost, one of the best ways to understand who we are and what we do is, ahead of everything, we're a solution company. We're a solution for you, and we're a solution for Main Street. I'm going to drive home what that means here in a moment. Obviously, it cannot be a completely exhaustive review as a company. I'm going to give you guys highlights. And of course, as we start working together, naturally, we'll expose you to everything and do a deeper dive. But due to time constraints, we're going to be high level today. So for you, how are we a solution for you? Well, if you're a professional, and people come to us from all walks of life, so I'm going to clump everybody into one of three categories today. It's less than perfectly clean, but again, it's relatively successful to do so, and you'll see what I mean here in a moment. If you're a professional, right, you're a tax professional, legal professional, financial professional, a professional, that's what I mean when I say professional, then of course, you recognize the difficulty in your space in distinguishing yourself and going out and obtaining new and additional clients, and in fact, best clients at that. And so we are that solution. We are the tool, the system, the process that's going to get you in front of the most lucrative clients. And in fact, our space, the Main Street space, when I talk about being lucrative, it is the market for which there is the least competition, right, relative to all that you do and what we do, the least competition that also controls the greatest concentration of wealth on planet Earth. It's a crazy thing to say, but it's true. Main Street America controls $32 trillion of wealth. And between what you already do as a professional and what we do, you will have zero competition, and they break down your doors to work with you. Now, the next level, another type of personality, right, or agenda that's here, are you side hustlers? Those of you out there pursuing opportunities, right, you're either side hustling because you have to, because the economy has become so terrible that your job isn't getting it done relative to your new needs as costs have escalated dramatically, or you've got that entrepreneurial spirit, you want the protection of a job, but you want the side hustle to take things next level, and when it gets there, you'll make that jump into being a full-fledged entrepreneur. Well, you know what, guys? We're the side hustle that works. We're the side hustle you can put a few hours into every week and absolutely be at six figures or more just in the side hustle by the end of the year. Not the nonsense put out there by everybody else that nobody achieves. Again, if you remember the last slide, I showed you thousands and thousands and thousands of people who have come on for 24 years and said that we move mountains. But we can only move those mountains in partnership with you. We're going to show you guys how we do that. And then finally, you have those entrepreneurs. Right, another and final population that we tend to work with. Those entrepreneurs that say, listen, I want to go into business for myself, but it's a tough economy, it's a tough time, 95, 96, depending on whose stats you look at, % of all entrepreneurs, all businesses fail, right? With the world being in the shape that it is today at my age, I don't have a chance to start over, whatever the case may be. Well, you know what, guys? We are that business in a box that gives you that opportunity to come here, do volumes of good out there in the world, something you and our country needs desperately. And again, we're going to talk about that here in a moment as we work our way through the call, and be paid at a staggering level to do that good in a platform that has a 24 plus year track record of prolific success. So we're going to eradicate that risk, that 95, 96% likelihood that if you hang your shingle, you're not going to succeed. We're going to kill that. And then next, and we'll get into you deeper here in a moment. And then next, we're going to talk about our end user, our end consumer, our end client, which is Main Street, and what we do for them. What we do is in a scientific and highly technical fashion, right? At no risk to them. Kind of sounds crazy so far, right? At no risk to them, meaning all that we do on contingency. We put our money where our mouth is. No risk to you, no risk to the client. We are going to go in as quarter of a century experts in cash flow refinement, in expense reduction, and tax mitigation via market and world disrupting software and services for the likes of which there are no competition. At the push of a button in a matter of seconds, we are going to identify how on our dollar, we're going to facilitate hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars in benefit to each and every business you walk into. Everybody you know that has a job, every business you go to, every business you patronize, every business you drive by, every single one of them, you can benefit to the tune of tens of thousands if they're incredibly small business. If they're brick and mortar, meaning actual standing business on the side of the road, hundreds of thousands to even millions of dollars. And yes, we're paying you to do that. In fact, we're paying you obscenely well. So you guys can see in your minds, if you're a professional, who better to work with than a business owner? And how much better to work with them by starting the relationship by handing them hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars to then have them have now the money in their hand, new money, non-allocated money, non-earmarked money to spend with you within your profession. We will take you within your profession through the stratosphere. As a side hustler, guys, how much easier to take a piece of software, put it in front of a business owner, show them the hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars we can put in their pocket. How much do you think you're going to have to arm wrestle them? How much driving around and beating on your car like an Uber driver are you doing? Or a food delivery? All of these different side hustles that are killing you, that you're making no money on, that you're one of hundreds of thousands, even millions of people doing. Here we have no competition. Nobody else does this. And businesses desperately need us. In fact, let's talk about the desperation. Let's talk about the ease of use, the ease of adoption. Jennifer, let's go ahead and pop up some examples, right? Some examples of what Main Street is dealing with right now. We'll use this as an example. 40 years of failing manufacturing in this country. I do not expect every person on this call to be an economist, right? I do not expect every person on this call to understand foundationally what it takes for a nation to be successful. If you didn't study that stuff, of course, it's not going to be top of mind. You won't necessarily know all of the minutia, all of the details. But I can tell you this, guys. The canary in the coal mine when it comes to economics in every nation on the planet, the foundation of the economics for every nation on the planet is manufacturing. And when you have 40 years of failing, falling, declining manufacturing and manufacturing employment, you have a nation that is not financially and fiscally healthy. And if the nation is not financially and fiscally healthy, of course, Main Street isn't either. Let's go ahead to the next slide. In addition to that standard reality, that foundational erosion that we have seen in this nation for the last 40 years on a pivotal topic, guys, we also have this little thing that we came through just a couple of years ago called COVID that slaughtered Main Street, that put countless businesses out of business and put tens of millions of businesses, those that did survive, on their heels and made it such that they couldn't handle anything more. But very unfortunately, it didn't end there. They have been given a lot more to handle. In fact, some of the examples some of the examples that maybe were top of mind, but we're all Americans, right? And the news can't stay on a topic, no matter how pressing it is, for very long, because we lose interest, and then they lose marketing dollars and advertising dollars and so on and so forth. So let me remind you of how bad businesses struggled and still do to get good employees. Article after article has been written, study after study has been done that shows that the average American worker, after the shutdown of COVID, completely changed their priorities, completely changed their work ethic, completely changed their performance, all to the detriment of both they, as an employee, a commodity that to commoditize yourself. Anybody that's got a job is a commodity, right? You're the commodity that you're bringing to market, trying to put value on to get that paycheck. They decommoditize themselves, and they hurt the businesses they work for because they're not performing well. Yet they're demanding more money because these businesses were struggling and having to offer more money to get people to come back to work. So now you have the businesses that suffered through COVID horribly. Many didn't survive, but those that did are on their heels. And now they try to bring employees back, but they have to pay more for less productive employees, thereby further impacting negatively said businesses. Did it end there? Nope. Has that dynamic ceased to exist? Nope. That's still a fight they're having. And there's more. There were supply chain issues that still exist today, unabated. Uh-oh. How about inflation? Well, we talked about that a few minutes ago. If you're experiencing inflation, so too are all these businesses. We have all these things working against them. And now you see articles, our government, and I'm not picking one party over another, our government is full of people on both sides of the aisle. Our government has come out and talked about, retailers are failing because there's crime here, or there's this, or there's that. Certainly those things have impacted, but retailers are failing because of the state of the economy. Retailers are failing because of what we did in COVID. Retailers are failing because all that has happened since COVID. And nobody, and I mean nobody, no business, no industry, period, nobody has an endless reservoir of revenue to just ride out the horrible storm, or in this case, series of storms that keep befalling Main Street. But it's not just Main Street, right? As I said, we're a solution company. We're not just a solution for Main Street. We're not just the ability for you, now that you've learned of Stride, and I assume by the end of this call you're going to become a member of Stride and work with Stride because of the obvious nature of who we are, what we do, our 24-year track record of insane success, the disgusting level of need on Main Street, the superior alternative that we are to any and all other side gig options, marketing as a professional, client acquisition, et cetera, et cetera. But you're in trouble too, right? We're the solution for Main Street. We're going to put our money where our mouth is. We're going to go do what we've done hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of times before. We're going to put a pile of money in their pocket. We're going to charge our contingency fee. We're going to pay you. Everybody's going to win. But when we talk about being a solution company, let's talk about the immediate needs that you have as well. Because, right, things haven't been so great for you. Jennifer, let's go to the next slide. We've been interfacing with the yous of the world now for going on 25 years. And as we talk about the yous of the world, and we look to the professionals and the side hustlers, right, and those biz op individuals, those entrepreneurs, well, life's tough for you too. Go ahead and populate this slide if you would, Jennifer. We're all encountering detrimental, right, erosive realities, which is why, as a professional, it's incumbent upon you to find more and better clients. Yet, when we look at your insanely saturated spaces, when we look at your shrinking client base, when we look at the shift in how products, goods, services meaning professional services, are now acquired and being managed increasingly by artificial intelligence, and all sorts of other mediums that bypass or circumvent you, we see that your life is not getting any easier as a professional or as a citizen trying to get by. So again, how are we a solution for you? Well, as a professional, it makes sense to work with business owners. If you're offering some form of advice, you're offering some form of service that would make sense, whether you're financial planning, you're tax oriented, you're legal oriented, you're consulting oriented, you're marketing oriented, you're this, that, or the other, whatever the heck you are, business owners process the most money, have the most money, they make the best clients. Additionally, I can show you statistically speaking how this space is all but devoid of having professionals like you on retainer, meaning there's little to no competition in the space. Now, the reason there's little to no competition in the space is these folks focus exclusively on their business, and unless you're there to take their business to the next level, they don't want to talk to you about other stuff. And even then, generally speaking, with their gatekeepers, they're near to impossible to get through, even if you want to talk about those things. However, when you design a business in the fashion that we have, which is to say, one, you don't start the way everybody else starts. Everybody else starts with their business with their product. And then they try to find a way to squeeze their product into the population they want. We did the opposite. We decided or wanted to figure out who is the best population to work with, who's underserved, least competition, another way to say that has prolific wealth. Well, obviously, you can surmise, you don't need me to tell you, we landed on Main Street. That's a very underserved market. It's not a penetrated market, and they control $32 trillion of wealth. This is the playground we want to go play in. Now, if you want to be exceedingly successful, the key is not to marry yourself to a product and try to squeeze them into it. Instead, the key is find out what they want, find out what they're already pursuing, find a way to give it to them better than anybody else, and find a way in the process to get paid to give it to them. So that's what we did. I really want you guys to understand the logic behind why and how we work so well. What we did was we said, well, what is it that business owners want? What is it that they do? What is it that they need? Well, if you step back for a moment and you really analyze business owners, you think about it, every book they buy, every seminar they attend, every consultation they pay for, every hire, every fire, everything they do is about enhancing profitability. So we made that our product, right? They don't spend all their time analyzing about the best marketing concept. Marketing's a fear for them. May work, may not work, but it's certainly going to cost money. They don't analyze and go on and on and on about the best tax person. They find one they're comfortable with and they stick with them until they get angry. They don't all sit there and go, boy, I really need a benefits program for my employees, and I need to do retirement planning for myself. Or you can go category by category, field by field. Right? They'll all get there when they have to, but day to day, they're focused on the profitability of the business. So we made that our product. Our product is we're going to spend our money working through you, put our software in front of them, let them tap the screen a couple of times, identify the where and the how and the to what extent, hundreds of thousands to millions, we can put in their pocket. They tap the screen, we go to work for them, we put the money in their pocket, we get our piece, we pay you. That client thinks you walk on water. Because of all the professionals and all their years in business, nobody, and I mean nobody, has ever done this for them before. Not their tax planner, not their legal professional, not their this, not their that, nobody. And so now, whatever it is you do as a professional, right? Now they have money to spend with you, and now they hold you and your professional acumen ahead of anybody else, and so they do it, so you make money twice. In fact, with us, a lot of what we do, you get paid on forever. So you have crazy money. Yep, we have services guys that for single transactions pay six figures. In fact, I'll get into that deeper here in a minute. Again, for you side hustlers, how many Uber drives does it take to make $100,000, $250,000, $500,000, or $1 million plus? And yes, all of those are achievable, not because I say so, but those guest speakers I showed you earlier, in one transaction. And you have 365 days in a year. The guy, the gal that wants to hang a shingle, build a business, we pay for your support department. All of these people that work, you heard Heather earlier on the call, she manages our support department, her and her amazing team. We pay for our sales team. We pay for our accounting team, our processing team, our subject matter experts who do the studies and do all the work. We pay for all of that. No infrastructure cost to you. 24-year track record. We, of course, as we said before, pay for all the services to go and execute on this stuff, to make the money for the clients that you're then going to take a piece of as income, as a commission. We are that business in a box with a more proven track record than anything else you've ever seen. Jennifer, if you would, let's go to the next slide. So again, as a solution company, we are the solution for every professional on this call. We're going to get you the best clients. We're going to free up piles of money. We're going to pay you to do it. And then those piles of money, they're going to reinvest by paying for your goods and services that you offer currently as a professional. Additionally, as a byproduct of what we do, the other professionals they interface with as a business owner, they look at you and say, my God, I've got piles of other clients that need exactly what you're doing. Could you help them too? And they're handing over their clients hand over fist. Again, you side hustlers, every single person you know that has a job, every single one of them is a path right through the front door to show that business how much money you have to hand out to them at no cost and no risk to them. Again, 24-year proven track record. And you entrepreneurs, I just finished covering you guys. I think you get it, don't you? So Jennifer, let's go to the next slide. I don't need you guys much longer. I'm going to get to this pretty quickly. We told you it'd be a relatively short call. We not only have market disrupting software, but our services unto themselves are market disrupting. These are just a piece of our services. I just wanted to grab a couple of examples to illustrate for each and every one of you how unique, how powerful, and how obvious we are as a solution. Again, we have dozens and dozens of services all wrapped up in a neat little package piece of software. You don't even need to know what this stuff is to make piles and piles and piles of money with it. In fact, within our guest speakers, you're going to hear people come on that have been here for days, a week, a month, never heard of this stuff, and are making piles of money. We have the subject matter experts when somebody has a question. No problem through technology, tap a screen, book a call, everybody shows up. We answer any and all questions they have in as detailed a manner as is necessary. We'll work with their tax professionals and show them how to apply this stuff. We are not usurping, replacing, undermining anything. We work with all of their current professionals. There's no reason whatsoever for you, them, or anybody else to be intimidated by what we do, because again, they're not changing anything. They're not taking a risk. We're putting our money where our mouth is, and we've got one hell of a track record for this. Let's talk about R&D for a moment, research and development. If you were to go out and analyze the market space, and I challenge you to do this, if you were to go out and see what the market space does, every would-be competitor in existence, they say that there's 12 to 14,000 clients in this country for R&D. And you have dozens upon dozens of entities cutting each other's throat within that space. Well, guys, that's them, not us. For us, the market is over 1 million strong. For us, everybody else is beating each other to death for 1.6% of the market because that's the only place they can be profitable in. Those are the only clients big enough for them to have a hope of making money. We, on the other hand, own 98.4% of the market. That's the space within which we have zero competition because of our advanced technology, because we do things in such a unique fashion, because we can work with infinitely smaller businesses and still make it profitable for both them, us, and you. No competition because of our groundbreaking, market disrupting approach for R&D. In fact, not only are there more clients, broader markets nobody else will tread in. Right? WOTC, Worker Opportunity Tax Credit. Let's talk about that one for a moment. This is a long-standing, very old piece of tax code designed to incentivize businesses to hire people from certain backgrounds for reasons of giving them an advantage because society has said they should have an advantage. So an example of what I mean, retired military. You can get a tax credit as a business for hiring somebody that's retired military. Why? Because we as a nation say, by God, these people put their lives on hold, right? If some form of battle or war occurred while they were there, they put their lives on the line. Yes, let's incentivize the business owner. Let's go ahead and give them a leg up in the employment market space. People that live in empowerment zones, right? Sections of the country where they tend to be impoverished. When we want to help raise our citizens, our brethren up, right? Why wouldn't we? Well, people that live in these certain areas, these certain geographies labeled as empowerment zones, again, as a business owner, you get a tax incentive, you get a tax credit for hiring them. How about ex-felons, ex-cons? Does it not benefit society as a whole for these folks to be employed once they come out of prison? Well, if you look at the studies, they say that the rate of recidivism, repeat crime, drops dramatically if they're gainfully employed. These are just some examples. There's a whole litany of examples of qualifiers. So this tax code exists, this benefit exists in all of our competitors, all of them. They follow a process that completely undermines the tax code. The process is, here, I'm going to interview a bunch of people. I'm going to decide on you without knowing any of these details, by the way. So how did this influence my decision? I'm going to decide on you. Then I hand you this pile of paperwork written in legalese, very threatening, very exposing if you haven't been perfectly honest on your resume. And I'm going to ask you to fill this thing out. And then we have to mail it to the state. It has to be accurate. There can't be a single error. If there is, it gets sent back. We got to do it again. All of this has to occur in 28 days, or you don't qualify even if you qualified. Does that make any sense to you guys? Or you don't qualify, meaning that even if you qualified, the second you get past 28 days, sorry, doesn't work now. Only to then find out, did you win the lottery? How in the hell is that using the tax code the way it was designed? Meaning, how did you incentivize the business owner to hire certain people when he didn't know until after he hired them whether or not they were going to qualify? So what did we do? We did what nobody else had done, and to this day, nobody else has done. We fully automated the process. We stripped out the legalese so people don't accidentally answer wrong. We tied in with regional, state, and federal tax databases in real time so that if somebody lies, like not admitting they're an ex-felon, like not admitting that they've been on unemployment, like not, our system pings off the database and said, our records indicate otherwise. Please answer honestly. The business owner, the company will not see your answers. We do it via tech. It's delivered in real time. And as they're filling it out, their status for qualification is provided to the business owner so that the business owner can decide in advance, do I want to hire this person or not? They're making that informed decision. If they have 5 people, they have 5 people fill out the form via tech. Here's the link, goes to you. I never see it. They fill it out. She gets the feedback, says, person A, no tax credit. Person B, $2,600. Person C, no tax credit. Person D, $6,400. Person E, $9,600. Now decide, who do you want? And for the first time, the tax code works as it was designed. No longer is it a lottery system. It influences the decision-making up front as it was intended to do. Really cool and amazing system, pays you forever. UA, underpayment audit. Talk about this one for a second. The payers out there, payers meaning insurance companies, are out there all day, every day, not adhering to their contracts with your medical institutions. You know, the very people that keep you healthy and keep you alive when, God forbid, something goes wrong. Overwhelmingly, they are running in the red right now because of the destructive influence of the Affordable Care Act, coupled with the corrupt dynamic as executed by the insurance industry, where they're overwhelming, playing games, manipulating, and doing all sorts of things that the hospitals and medical institutions cannot catch. They just can't. They're overwhelmed. They don't have adequate technology. So what do? We go out and we custom build technology, the likes of which does not exist anywhere, period, within a space for whom we have no competition, period. Yes, there's companies out there that do revenue cycle management for medical institutions. It's not what we're talking about. There are companies out there that sell amazing software, R1 software, Epic software, incredible pieces of software that can cost up to over $100 million to get. That's not what we're talking about. It also doesn't do this. We have no competition for this. What our software does is it goes through and it analyzes every single payment to the fraction of the penny, and it pings it off their contract. We do all this, again, on our dollar. No risk to them. We're not disrupting anything they do. We're not saying get rid of your software. Nope. Do what you do until you're done. When you're done and you say you've squeezed every bit of juice out of that lemon, go ahead and give it to me. I'll show you more juice. So no risk, no downside, no disruption, no change, nothing. Do what you do until you're done, then let us have a look. And what I'm going to tell you guys is that statistically speaking, we find 22% being left on the table. Here's what that means. For every $1 million that they've been paid, they being the medical institution, has been paid, that they give us to audit, I expect to find another $200,000, $220,000 that they're owed. And you know what? We're going to go get it for them. When we get it for them, they keep 70 cents on the dollar, we get 30. And out of our 30, we pay you 30. There are steps and stages of this process. The perfection stage precedes the ultimate settlement. The settlement is where the huge money comes in. The perfection phase is where we're perfecting our argument. We're making a little bit of money along the way. I have a meeting tomorrow, for example, and certainly not the biggest client. In fact, right in the middle of the road of the clients we have that we're working on right now, currently in-house that we're servicing, not those from the past, not those coming in tomorrow, just those right now. And in this early stage, the little bit of money, the call tomorrow is to go over their $2 million invoice. This is not the settlement. This is the little money up front. $2 million that we put in their pocket. Our share is $600,000 during the little phase. The payment to the advisor is $180,000 during the little phase. We have months and months and months more of this, and then a settlement. Those numbers go against all of that. These, again, are, guys, but a small number of the market disruptive, innovative, software-backed platforms that we own exclusively and are not available anywhere else. Jennifer, let's go to the next slide, and I'm going to race through these, and I want to show you guys ease of use. And in fact, we're going to be training you guys on all this stuff on Monday. That's why it's imperative. You can see on your screen right now, you could activate right now. You don't have to wait till the call's over, and I'm getting to the end anyhow. We have Mastermind tomorrow. We're going to have guest speakers on tomorrow. On Tuesday, we're doing full onboarding training for you guys on services, on protocol. You need to be engaged. We're going to show you guys all of this too. So when we talk about ease of use and ease of application, here you guys go. Here you go. Here's your toolkit. Everything, if you would, Jennifer, slowly scroll through this. You're going to have your own website off of which you operate everything. You have your back office that gives you what we have spent millions upon millions of dollars creating, testing, refining, and we continue to spend millions of dollars a year on maintaining the best results. The language and positioning and videos that are going to leverage the top algorithms on social media, the top levels of search engine optimization, the top click rates in text and email, everything you ever want to text, anything you would ever email, anything you would ever say in a conversation, say in a voice message, anything you'd ever post on social media, already built for you. Teaser videos, funnel systems, everything you could possibly imagine laid out in front of you, the click of a button away. Mere minutes a day to be successful. And again, we hear people, I can even see in a chat, I finally had a couple come through, but I don't know any business owners. First of all, yes, you do. There's not a person in America that doesn't know business owners. One, and because there's businesses you go to, there's businesses you patronize. And two, every single human being you know with a job is your path through that front door. Because every single one of those people with a job, they want to be the hero at that job. They want to be the person that's able to go, hey, look at what I did. Can I get a pay raise? Can I get a bump in position? Can I get a this? Can I get a that? Whatever the case, they want to be that hero. And there's no such thing as a business in America who could afford to be so arrogant as to not have a dialogue with somebody standing there with hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars, no risk money in their hand, because there's no business that can flip a switch and in a risk-free, immediate fashion, produce the same net benefit. Think for a moment what any business in America would have to do to facilitate the same outcome we can flip a switch and facilitate. Any business wants to produce more revenue, they've got to double down on a product, create a new product, they have to hire new people, they have to engage in marketing campaigns, they've got to get it out there. That's spending money hand over fist. And then the product needs to be successful for X amount of time just to recover the monies they've spent. Then from that point going forward, it can turn profitable. But how long will it take to be profitable to the tune of hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars after taxes? Yet, with one conversation with you, with one running of the software, they can immediately realize that benefit with no risk, with no expense, right now today. That's why it's so easy. That's why the adoption is so high. That's why we built all these tools so that you, moment one, can be successful. Today's Thursday. By Tuesday next week, if you take action, we'll have commissions in the hands of plenty of you if you take action. That's how easy, that's how prolific, that's how proven the system is. If you would, let's go to our last slide there, Jennifer. And I'm going to remind you guys, everything I just said, these aren't my words. These are your peers' words. There is no company on the face of the earth that can stand in front of you and honestly say that for a quarter of a century, they've put on proof of concept with real people every single week. Not a single one other than us. So guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for your time today. I certainly look forward to the opportunity to work with each and every one of you, for the opportunity to interview each and every one of you, learn about you, learn about your network, learn about your goals and your desires, and show you precisely how together we're going to facilitate not only that outcome, but 10 times that outcome. Let's get you activated right now. We're going to get you started for $29 for your first month. That's your website. That's all these tools. That's all your training. That's your closing teams, your support teams, everything, everything. Let's get you guys on. Let's get you set up. Let's get you on tomorrow's mastermind call, get you excited so that you're prepared when we train you Tuesday to hit the ground running and lay the foundation for the greatest year, greatest closeout of a year of your life here in 24, and lay that foundation to just kill it in 25. Thank you all very much. Can't wait to get to know each and every one of you, work with each and every one of you, and have each and every one of you on our Friday call beating your chest about your success. Thank you again very much, and we'll talk to you guys soon.